What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Steve from Printer Gang Investments, back with another video, and we here with another Palantir YOLO update. So today Palantir opened up, beat earnings, smashed estimates, started off the day up like 16-17%, and as of the time of this recording, we're flirting with 51. Right before I turned on the camera, we was at 51.10. Dan Ives just raised the price target to 57. So let's get into it. So right here, you see the calls. So I had the $50 call for the day. I sold it early, people. It was only up like 70%. I sold it and I bought the November 22nd call, and I'm already up 114% on that. I might need to take it, but we'll talk about that later. So the other call I had that was flat, it's up 73% today. The ones I've been holding, the $55 call for January 2026 is up 117%, and this $40 call that I'm holding, even though it's in the money, it's up 386%. It was only up 200 yesterday. Palantir is doing its thing, people. This can't just be retail right here. This has got to be institutional. This is retail. This is Alex Karp stressing that the money is going to be in the AIP, not that commoditized large language model like he's saying on TV every day. This right here, this is good for us. This is good for us. Now, we still got the election tonight. And I was listening to a Goldman report. I think they basically saying Trump up, Kamala down. We'll see what really happens. But at this point, with this earnings, any dip would be the dip we want. Now, there's some things going on. That's a lot of people out here with covered calls going through it. I ain't gonna lie. And the valuation is getting more and more egregious. People can't figure it out. But like a lot of the bulls are saying, we might be in a Tesla, Nvidia situation where the valuation looks cheap now, but the company grows into it over time. So we'll see how that pans out. But a lot of people are going to be holding this. Like right now, I could be taking these gains, but it wouldn't be a YOLO update if we wasn't YOLO. You know what I'm saying? I do take some gains. I took gains before earnings. Maybe I shouldn't have. But let's look at the chart on Palantir. So I'm going to get us, oh, that's not Palantir. Let's get the Palantir. I'm going to get us to the daily chart right here. And on the daily chart, we are, 50.89 is the times recording. We hit 51 something as a high. As y'all can see, we just basically broke up, gapped up pre-market, and then gapped up again during market hours. So we blew out all the levels. Obviously, we're not going to have a lot of levels on the daily because it's the first candle. I might go down some time frames, you know what I'm saying, see if we can find some things. But it's not going to be much there because we've never been to any of these levels. We could use this 45. Hopefully that holds the support if we come back down there. And then the other levels are still valid. 44, like the same levels that seem like minor pullbacks just a day ago are like real dips now. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's look at the 4-hour chart on Palantir. All right. Yeah, it's a little more reasonable. We got a fair value gap. I mean, these are all short time frame entries, shorter time frame entries, so we don't know how much they'll hold. But yeah, Palantir really gapped up today. So where do we go from here, shareholders, man? So as far as my shares, I haven't sold any shares. I was actually adding. I've been buying some this week. I'm not loading up heavy, as you guys can see. I'm buying a lot of my shares with profits from options right now because the bears are not wrong. The valuation is high right now and you are taking a risk. But a lot of these people were saying that the company wasn't anything in 7 and 8 and 9. Like, I mean, in hindsight, it always looks like that. Like, everybody's saying now the time was to buy Palantir at 10 and 15 and 20. And as someone who bought Palantir almost every day in 2023, they weren't saying that in 2023. Dan Ives and them started getting involved at like the $15 to $20 range. But sometimes this is a prime example of why they say do your own research. Because the analysts are getting confused. People miss the boat. And that's probably why the price is shooting up. Now, can there be profit taking? Of course. Can we tank because of election? Of course. Can we have a huge macro event? Of course, because that jobs report is still not looking good. A lot of people are predicting the market could crash in January and February, so we could have pullbacks. But with an earnings like this, I would tell people pullbacks are to be bought. Like, I want to show you guys like a really old call from when I first started this Palantir journey. I don't even have this one. I did not even have the money. This is what I mean when I say, ooh, if I had the money, I'd be up. Because at this time, I didn't have $2,000, $3,000 to put in Palantir on this date, but I was starting the position and I was adding things to the watch list. I think I probably was up maybe like 100 shares or so at the time. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't have spare money to buy calls at that time. But look what they've done since that time. They were $46. This was the day before the earnings, when they first announced AIP, when they first announced gap profitability and all that. And since then, that call has went on to do 6,600% and counting. So I don't want people to sleep on what could really happen here. Because if you're a Palantir shareholder, and especially if you're a longer term Palantir shareholder, you're in a thesis that the market is just now realizing. So they could have been looking at Palantir at 40 the way we were looking at it at 10. I mean, not from a valuation perspective, of course, but from a risk to reward perspective. You see what I'm saying? And as this thing continues, we just gonna see how high it can go. I'm gonna definitely be giving y'all, a more I'm gonna do a more research-based video on this thing, and I'm gonna give some reactions to what some of the analysts been saying. But I just wanted to give you a quick YOLO update, show you what the call's been doing. And it's your boy Steve from Printer Gang Investments, man. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.